Hello, Fac-Tion family, and welcome back. In our last video, we left you with a tough choice between three chilling stories. We asked you to figure out which one was the real event. Many of you debated in the comments. I can now officially reveal that the true story from episode 3 was story number 1, the mail carrier. Congratulations to everyone whose detective skills led them to the right answer. Now it's time for a new challenge. We have 3 new mysterious tales for you tonight. As always, 2 are masterful works of fiction, but one of them is terrifyingly true. Listen carefully and let's begin. Story number 1, the crying boy painting.
The Robinson family had just purchased an old oil painting at a local auction. It depicted a young boy with hauntingly sad, teary eyes. Despite its sorrowful subject, the painting had an eerie beauty, and they hung it in their living room right above the fireplace. The strange occurrences began that very first night. In the dead of night, faint, muffled sobs could be heard coming from the living room. Whenever they went to investigate, the room was silent, but an unnatural chill always lingered around the painting. A few days later, Mrs. Robinson noticed streaks of moisture running down the wall from beneath the frame. When she touched the painting, she discovered the oil paint on the boy's eyes was wet and tacky, as if it were genuinely crying. Terrified, they took the painting down and locked it away in the attic. That night, for the first time in weeks, the house was completely silent. But the next morning, when they checked the attic, they were met with a horrifying sight. The painting was gone. The only things left behind were a small puddle of water on the floor and a trail of tiny wet footprints leading to the attic door and then vanishing into thin air. To this day, the painting has never been found, but neighbors swear that sometimes they see the face of a sad little boy peering out from the empty windows of the Robinsons' house.
Story number 2, the doll.
In 1904, a young boy in Key West, Florida, named Robert Eugene Otto was given a one-of-a-kind handmade doll. The boy, who went by Gene, named the doll Robert, and the two became inseparable. Gene would spend hours talking to the doll, and his parents would often overhear a faint, different voice seemingly whispering back. At first, they dismissed it as Gene's childish imagination, but soon things took a sinister turn. Toys in Gene's room would be found mutilated, and the terrified boy would always blame it on the doll, claiming, "Robert did it." The terror peaked when Gene would wake up screaming in the middle of the night. His parents would rush in to find the room in disarray, and Robert the doll sitting at the foot of the bed, staring down at the boy with its beady black eyes. As Gene grew older, Robert the doll was moved to the attic and remained there for years. Eventually, when the old house was sold to another family, their young daughter found Robert in the attic. But she soon became hysterical, claiming the doll was alive and had threatened her. Today, Robert the doll is on display in a museum. You must ask Robert's permission before taking his photo. If you don't, legend says you will fall under his curse.
Story number 3, grandmother's music box.
After her grandmother passed away, Clara was tasked with clearing out her old, damp house. Amidst the clutter, she found a heavy, ornate wooden music box. Its velvet lining was rotting and the wood was dark with age. Unlike fairy tales, this box had a winding key, but it was jammed tight and wouldn't turn. Assuming it was broken, Clara placed it on her bedside table, intending to take it to a repair shop later. That first night, at exactly 2:30 a.m., a sharp, dry sound jolt Clara awake. It sounded like metal straining against wood. Suddenly, the internal spring, perhaps expanding due to the temperature drop, released with a screech. The box began to play a slow, off-key lullaby. The melody wasn't ghostly, it was mechanical and struggling, as if the gears were grinding against something. Clara, rationalizing that old metal springs often slip due to temperature changes, tried to ignore it. But the next night it happened again. Driven by sleeplessness and curiosity, she decided to open the box to grease the mechanism and stop the noise. Using a small screwdriver, she removed the bottom panel. A stale, musty smell escaped. The brass mechanism was intact, but something was wedged between the main gears, causing the tension to build up and snap. Clara used tweezers to pull it out. It was a small, tightly folded, grease-stained piece of paper. As she shone her flashlight into the hollow wooden body of the box, she noticed the depth didn't match the exterior. It had a false bottom. Pressing a hidden latch, the floor of the box popped up. Inside there were no ghosts. The compartment was filled with yellowed newspaper clippings from 40 years ago. The headlines were identical. Local boy mysteriously vanishes on summer afternoon. Beside the papers lay a pair of tiny white infant shoes, now gray with dust, and a lock of golden hair tied with a red ribbon. Clara unfolded the greasy paper she had pulled from the gears. It was her grandmother's handwriting, but shaky and rushed. Clara had always believed her grandmother was a sweet, lonely woman who loved children. That night, she realized the music wasn't a haunting. It was the sound of a spring finally releasing the weight of a bloody, decades-old secret. Clara didn't sell the box. She took it, along with the contents, straight to the police station.
And there you have them, 3 tales for our Fac-Tion family, each with its own brand of darkness. The silence in the studio right now is heavy. I've got goosebumps, how about you? Now, the ultimate question hangs in the air like a well-kept secret. Which one of these stories is the terrifying truth? Was it story number 1, the crying boy painting? A cursed object shedding real tears and leaving behind the footprints of a ghost? Or perhaps it was story number 2, Robert the Doll, a companion who quickly revealed his sinister side, with a curse that may still claim victims today. And then there's option number 3, grandmother's music box. A seemingly innocent memento hiding the mechanical, chilling secret of a decades-old crime. 2 of these are pure fiction, stories carefully crafted to send a shiver down your spine. But one of them actually happened. A real event with real consequences. Now, it's your turn to play detective. Head down to the comments and tell us which story you believe. But don't just tell us which one. Tell us why. What detail convinced you? What clue did you spot that others might have missed? Read what the rest of the Fac-Tion family is saying, debate, and defend your theory. We'll be watching the comments closely to see who our top detective is this week. Make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on, because you won't want to miss the reveal. Until the next video, sleep with one eye open, and as always, stay curious.